Fascinating. Hi, good you're here. Hi. I have yet again had some sort of challenge with my live stream technology. The YouTube dashboard is completely different, so I went live without actually realizing it. So, hi. I hope I wasn't awkward, but I usually am, so that's how it goes. Some familiar faces here already. It's good you're all here. I'm glad you're gonna be sitting down to look through this with me. Today we're looking at New Improved Dykes to Watch Out For by Alison Bechdel. There's a 3 on here. I believe it was the third booklet made of this comic series, which ran in multiple newspapers and publications at the time. So this is a running on of several different storylines contained therein. I actually pulled it off my shelf today and thought it would be nice to share with all of you. So let's dig in. Oh, let's look at the back first. Those lovable Dykes are back, and this time they're new and improved. The adventure continues as the relationship between Mo and Harriet picks up steam and Mo decides to come out to her parents. Only Alison Bechdel has the ability to tackle such tough subjects with her trademark wit and wisdom. Winner of the Lambda Literary Award for Humor. And it was published by Firebrand Books. So yeah, how exciting. I like the fonts here, and here's a little bit more. Also by Alison Bechdel, Dykes to Watch Out For, more Dykes to Watch Out For. Second title page. I put it in the description, but as you can see, this was copywritten in 1990, so this actual comic is 30 years old. At least this publication. Some of the comics are sooner than that, and they have dates on them, so that's an exciting part of this. Excuse me. I'm going to set up my microphone here. I actually left it on its side. Well, as I said, I didn't think I was live, so hopefully this was just a fluke and it'll go back to the regular setting that I was used to. But anyway, you don't need to hear about all of that. Just my frustrations. I would like to thank the people who have, among others things, given me criticism, offered advice, inspired plot developments, read my rough drafts, psychoanalyzed my characters, bolstered my ego, parodied me, posed for me, shared intimate details of their lives with me, helped think up punchlines, and indulged my favorite pastime on conversing about what will happen next in the strip. I'm not going to read all the names, but it's very nice. Introducing Mo and her 2 cats, Virginia and Vanessa. Mo, a committed lesbian feminist cultural worker, she stocks shelves at Mad Women Books. Mo is chiefly motivated by free-floating guilt in combination with a hypersensitive moral fiber. Her intentions are always honorable, and her closest friends describe her as quote-unquote challenging. Harriet. To all appearances easygoing and stable, Harriet is dedicated to her career as a state human rights investigator. She believes in taking political action rather than wallowing in liberal guilt, but fell for Mo anyway. Clarice and Tony. Law student with a soul, Clarice is a firm believer in working for change within the system. She was Mo's first lover, but now they're just friends. Clarice is happily devoted to her long-term relationship with Tony. Or is she? Tony is helping to put Clarice through law school with her job as a CPA. She's waiting till the time is right to come out at work and to her family, maybe after she gets pregnant. Lois is Mo's co-worker at the bookstore. They are the best of friends, despite all the fact that Lois is less concerned about starvation and corruption than with flirtation and seduction. She is nonetheless a staunch advocate of collective living and shares a house with Ginger and Sparrow. Ginger, her dog Digger. Ginger figures that if she has to teach freshman English, at least she can put Audre Lorde on the reading list. When she's not working on her PhD or battling the university bureaucracy, she watches MTV and has ill-fated affairs. Sparrow. Between her individual and group therapy sessions, 12-step meetings, chiropractic appointments, and spirituality circles, Sparrow has hardly any time left over to guilt-trip her less highly evolved housemates. Jazana. Boss of Mad Women Books, a non-collectively run feminist bookstore, Jazana is a recovering workaholic. She hosts annual coming out parties and makes vain attempts to keep Lois away from her more vulnerable friends. The Dilemma, 1988. Having decided upon further discussion that safer sex precautions were not necessary, Mo and Harriet proceeded to indulge in a wide range of amorous explorations. Shortly afterwards, we find Mo pondering her new non-celibate status. Geez, that was nice. I guess I didn't forget how after all. How can she sleep? I can never sleep in a strange bed or with a strange person, for that matter. Particularly when they're lying on my arm. With Zen-like patience, our heroine perseveres into the night as her arm, if nothing else, dozes off. So now what? Is this just a casual thing for her? Maybe she does this all the time. Maybe she's incapable of commitment, or worse yet, non-monogamous on principle. Or maybe she thinks this means we're married. What if she starts criticizing my table manners and asking me what I'm thinking about? I don't think I'm ready for this. Her thoughts run on in this manner till nearly dawn. I wondered if she wants to have children. She seemed to like the cats. I think my mother would like her. And then we have a simple scene where Harriet is touching Mo's mouth, waking her up. Huh? Was I asleep? Asleep? I was beginning to think you were in a coma. Oh, wow. What time is it? 10:15. Relax. It's Saturday. Shit. I work Saturdays. I have to be at the bookstore in 15 minutes. So call in sick. I can't. Jazana depends on me. So get up and get dressed already. I can't. You feel so nice. Just how strong is our heroine's moral fiber anyway? Stay tuned. Modes of Resistance, 1988. At breakfast with Ginger, Sparrow, and Lois. The FBI investigation was begun in 1981 after allegations never proved that CISPES members had provided the illegal military assistance to leftist guerrillas in El Salvador. Jesus, I mean, come on. It's practically all the local CISPES office can do to pay the rent and maybe get together a carton of Band-Aids and aspirin to send down to a clinic. And this organization is the Committee in Solidarity with the People of El Salvador. So this is the organization they're talking about. Meanwhile, Ronnie's been illegally giving zillions in military assistance to rightist guerrillas in Nicaragua. It's enough to make you toss your granola. I also see here that the Contra Aid vote is coming up in a few days. What are we going to do about it? Write our representatives. Gays and Lesbians for Jesse Jackson is having a letters writing party tonight. What'll that accomplish? It's ridiculous that Reagan's never even asking for this money. We should drop what we're doing, go to DC, and chain ourselves to the Capitol doors. No. That's just misdirected energy. I think we should all have a meditation ritual and send Congress a heavy dose of white light. Ah, Sparrow, don't give me all that upper middle class new age twaddle. The only way to affect change is through direct action, not wearing expensive crystals around our necks. If you think anyone's going to notice, let alone care, that you've changed yourselves to adore Lois, you're mistaken. We all have a responsibility to the democratic process to make our vote count. The democratic process is totally dysfunctional. Nothing will change until society realizes how sick it is. Our first responsibility is to heal ourselves. The world will follow. And then they sit in this lovely silence. Why do we waste our energy fighting like this? It's another FBI scheme. They've been injecting our tofu with testosterone. Communique, 1988. Although she is expected to open the doors of Madwomen Books to all the public in 10 minutes, Mo is unable to wrench herself from Harriet's embraces. Can't you call Lois and have her open up for you? No, not Lois. She saw us last night and she'd know why I was late. So? So knowing Lois, it'll be all over town by noon. I'll call Ariadne. She owes me a favor. Hi, Ginger. It's Ariadne. I have to cancel our brunch date. I'm working for Mo this morning. No, I don't know. She just said something came up. And then, funnily enough, there's this customer looking at a book called Lesbian Bed Death. Not a problem in our comic. Morning, Ginger. Hi, Naomi. Say, guess who didn't show up for work this morning after we saw her at the Topaz with Harriet last night? Methinks the chaste maiden Mo finally got laid. Organic black beans, 155. Hey, Tony, did you hear about Mo and Harriet? Honey, I picked up some hot news at the co-op. Hey, Lois, guess who finally did it? And you can see Tony in the background spilling her beans that she's pouring from her bag into her jar. Very nice attention to detail. Meanwhile, Mo tears herself away. Aw, Smack, we have to stop. Yeah, I know, slurp, I'll be late again. And arrives at the bookstore by noon, just as Lois drops in. Hello, Mo. You look flushed. Did you work out this morning or something? You know, I could really get into an exercise program like yours. Great, Lois, great. I'm really impressed. I think this community just set the land speed record for gossip mongering. Details. I want details. A Little Domestic. Also from 1988. Oh no, another one. What? A collection notice? A chain letter? No, a wedding invitation from an old straight friend. I don't know, Mo. I can't quite picture you in a peach taffeta. What'll you wear? Don't be silly, Harriet. I can't go. I'm gonna miss old Suzanne's, though. Where's she going? Nowhere. But she won't speak to me after I tell her it's against my principles to collude with institutionalized patriarchy by congratulating her or by taking part in the ceremony. I don't get it. So she wants to get married. What's that to you? What's it to me? Do you think our relatives would give us electric fondue pots and Tupperware if we got married? Would your health insurance cover me? Could we file a joint income tax return? What if we wanted to adopt a kid? Okay, I get the point. But don't you think we should fight for those rights instead of trashing people who benefit from them? No, I don't want to fight to be like Ozzy and Harriet. We need to abolish couplehood and marriage and the nuclear family in order to realize our true human potential. We can live in a communes or something. Let me tell you, as someone who grew up in a commune, all I'm interested in is getting married and living in a house with a picket fence. Harriet, we've only been going out for a week. Isn't it a little soon to start talking about marriage? Ah, the truth comes out. Underneath all that rhetoric lies your deep-seated fear of intimacy. Don't therapize me, Harriet. Ozzy, our first fight. Ah, stop. The Cure, also from 1988. You guys want to eat together tonight? I thought I'd whip up some creamed burdock with turnip loaf. Sounds great. And her book here, it says The Politically Correct Palate is her cookbook. Very nice detail. I won't be home till late. I have therapy. Oh, right. I forgot. Is tonight individual, couples, or group? Group, Miss Smartass. Sparrow, I've been wondering, if you spend all your time doing therapy instead of living, how do you have anything left to talk about in your sessions? Uh-oh, Digger. Time to make our exit. Bye, you two. Look, don't get down on me just because you choose to trudge through life clinging to self-destructive patterns and avoiding reality. I'm avoiding reality? You're the one who spends 6 hours a week navel-gazing. I'm out there staffing the rape crisis hotline and interacting with the community. Don't guilt-trip me, Lois. You're not the only one trying to save the world. But if you want to do something truly radical, then try therapy. Therapy is a self-indulgent, classist, individual solution. That's exactly what I'd expect to hear from someone who's never even tried it. Psychotherapy is a tool for achieving real autonomy and empowerment, so we can overcome the repression imposed on us by the patriarchy. You can't get much more revolutionary than that. I don't need to pay a shrink to get empowered. And besides, I'm perfectly healthy emotionally. Right. That's why you sleep with every woman you meet. Face it, Lois, you're a sex addict. At least it's cheaper than being a therapy junkie. I think we should continue this discussion when we're both more rational. I'm going to work. Sure, run away from a little honest conflict. Go process it with your group. And don't expect me to save you any turnip loaf. Theory and practice. Sparrow called me a sex addict this morning. Oh, yeah? Do you think I'm a sex addict? Well, geez, Lois, I don't know. You sleep around a lot, I guess. But it depends on why you do it. Like, are you avoiding intimacy? Now you sound like Sparrow. I do it because it's fun. I can't help it. Most dykes in this town are a bunch of Victorians who think you have to get married to have sex. I love the thrill of a new crush, the flirtation, the seduction, touching her hair for the first time, finding out how she smells, how she kisses. Yeah, okay, but what happens after all that? What if she's more serious than you? What if she has a lover? How do your other girlfriends feel about it? Don't things get kind of complicated? Yeah, it's a drag sometimes, but I'm always upfront about my intentions. I've never slept with anyone under false pretenses. Well, as long as you're not hurting anyone. It's not just a sex thing, you know. It's a theory, an approach to life. I'm exploring different kinds of relationships, learning how to be open and trusting, getting past limitations like jealousy. Yeah, I agree with the theory part, Lois, but the actual practice seems so messy. I think you're brave to work so hard at it. Yeah, I know you disapprove of me. No, I don't. I just think there might be something to be said for monogamy, too. Oh, yeah? That Harriet must be pretty hot stuff. Keep your philandering paws off her, you home wrecker. And the book behind her here is Feminism and Nonviolence. Oh, lesbian ethics is here too listed. Interesting. Actually, yeah. Making Babies the Lesbian Way, Cunt Art, Lesbian Passion, Theoretical Lesbianism, Gender Romance, number 423. Deserts of the Heart. Okay. Cold Feet. Clarice? Clarice, I'm pregnant. What? Relax. I was just testing. Listen, though, I've been thinking a lot about this lately. I want to have a baby. Yeah, well, yeah, me too someday. We will. We've been saying that for years now. I'm 30, Clarice. Every day, more of my ovarian follicles are dying off. If we're going to do it, it has to be soon. Geez, Tony, I'm still in law school. We don't have any money or any sperm for that matter. We can't rush into anything. And we can't wait till we're millionaires to have a baby either. You'll be out of school eventually. We'll look for a sperm donor or go to a clinic. But where would we put a baby? What if we wanted to travel? What if we just wanted to go to a movie? Our lives would never be the same. That's part of the idea. I love you very much, Clarice. I think we have a lot to offer a kid. I don't know, honey. I guess deep down, part of me thinks lesbians were created for other purposes than raising children. Like what? Being drill sergeants or dog breeders? That's downright homophobic, Clarice. I meant, don't you think we should wait till I've done some therapy? How can I become someone's mother until I resolve my own childhood? If I didn't know you better, Clarice, I'd say you were scared. Try mad with terror. One afternoon in the groves of Academy. Planning has begun for the annual Gay and Lesbian Studies Conference. Committees have been formed. Clarice is on her way to the first meeting of the Accessibility Committee. Ginger, graduate student in English, leaves her section of freshmen with some words of wisdom. Quit whining. Reading something by someone who's not straight, white, and male is not going to kill you. And Zami by Audre Lorde is on the table with these students. And sets out for the very same meeting. We need 2 people to take this wheelchair and make sure these workshop locations are really accessible. Our women volunteer. My name's Clarice. I'm at the law school. You're one of Lois's housemates, right? Yeah, I'm Ginger. I've seen you around, but we've never met. So they're standing outside the steps here. They're trying to use the bathrooms with a wheelchair. Nope. Your turn. I'm getting blisters. They're going up this long hill to get where they're going. Damn. This ivory tower needs some ramps. What are you saying, Ginger? Build ramps and anyone could get up. The whole school would become overrun by black commie dykes in wheelchairs. Really now. Trouble in Paradise. After a grueling day at work and school, our dynamic duo regroups for dinner at the Topaz. Look, Chica, there's a group of lesbians meeting to talk about having babies. Let's go. Maybe it will help you to feel less scared. A group? Every Tuesday night at the community center. Oh, too bad. Tuesdays are the committee nights for the Gay and Lesbian Studies Conference. Oh, of course. How silly of me to think planning a baby could take precedence over planning a 4-day conference. Tony, be reasonable. I've already committed myself to this. And I do want us to have a baby, but I can't stand this constant pressure. Hey, Clarice. Ginger, hi. How are ya? This is my lover, Tony. Hi, Tony. Say, Clarice, we just have to get together for some gossip about the conference one of these days. I'd love to. We could go out for coffee after the meeting Tuesday. You got yourself a date. See you then. Nice meeting you, Tony. Ginger, huh? She was flirting with you, wasn't she? Flirting, Tony, what is the matter with you? I think this baby stuff has gone to your brain. Has Tony taken leave of her senses, or is something indeed afoot? Don't miss the next gripping episode. Fatal Attraction. Tony is making a sudden trip to San Juan for her grandmother's funeral. The worst thing is, my abuelita was the only sane member of my entire family. I know, honey. Call me if they start to drive you crazy. I wish I could come with you. That evening, Clarice attends a meeting of the Accessibility Committee. We still need another sign language interpreter for the panel discussion, Lesbians and Gay Men Working Together. Typical tactical team or total travesty? No, we don't. Maria said she could do it. But we already have a woman signing. We need a man for parity, especially on this panel. But we only have one male interpreter, and he's doing the men-only workshop, Sensual, Salacious, and Safe, in the same time slot. After an apparent eternity, the meeting adjourns. Hi, stranger. Are you still on for coffee? Sure, Ginger. Let's get out of here. So what's the story with you and Tony? Are you married or what? Married? That's kind of a strong term. We've been together 6 years. She's helping to put me through law school, and we're talking about having a baby. I wouldn't say we're married exactly. I'll be upfront with you, Clarice. I think you're really cute. If you're not available, I won't pursue it. Are you and Tony monogamous? That certainly is upfront. Well, we've never really defined our relationship. I guess we're not monogamous, and I think you're really cute yourself. Oh, what am I doing? She says she's available. That means it's okay, right? What am I doing? She really is hot. Nothing wrong with a little innocent affair, is there? Friendly advice. I'm glad you could come over, Mo. I really need to talk to you. What would you think if I had an affair with Ginger? What? I'm so attracted to her. I can't describe it. It's like gravity, fate, destiny. What? She feels the same towards me. We talked about it last night. Clarice, what about Tony? What about her? This has nothing to do with my commitment to Tony. In fact, I think it would be unhealthy for our relationship if I didn't act on these feelings for Ginger. Besides, Tony's still in Puerto Rico. Whoa, Clarice, are you in there? Have you been possessed by an alien? Meanwhile, yeah, I know she's involved with Tony, but I don't want to marry her. I just want to sleep with her. Well, I've never been one to discourage people from following their sexual inclinations, but exactly. It would be wrong to repress these feelings for Clarice. Listen to me, Ginger. I speak from experience. It's not a good idea to get involved with married women. But Lois, they're not monogamous. That's one of the things I admire about Clarice. She doesn't just theorize, she lives her convictions. We're having dinner tonight. What look should I go for? Scholarly or seductive? How about self-destructive? That evening, Tony, ¿quién llamas por teléfono? Tu novio? And you see the phone is ringing at their home. Close encounter. Heedless of their friend's advice, Clarice and Ginger find themselves at the point of no return. Want to come in? Lois and Sparrow won't be home till late. Sure. Ignore the mess. It's my thesis. What's it about? It's about historical trends in dominant cultural criticism of Afro-American literature with a focus on the critical response to the influence of the oral tradition in contemporary fiction by Black women. And they kiss. 2 hours and 15 minutes later. Oops, excuse me. Clarice is in the bathroom and Lois walks in. I hope you know what you're getting into, Ginger. That's all I have to say. Slam. Ginger, I have to leave in case Tony calls in the morning. I had a great time. Me too. You busy tomorrow? Or I guess I should have read that. You busy tomorrow? Yeah, Tony's flight gets in at 6. Are you going to tell her? Tell her what? Has Clarice been possessed by an alien? What's going on here anyway? Don't touch that dial. In the heat of the night. It's bedtime at Harriet's apartment. I just can't believe it. Why is Clarice doing this? I don't know. She and Tony seem so happy. They're my role models, Harriet. Don't they realize they have a responsibility to me to stay together? Mo, stop. It's too hot to rave. That's it. It's the greenhouse effect. This oppressive heat is causing hormonal imbalances, and Clarice is one of the first victims. I mean, doesn't it bother you, Harriet, to see an established long-term lesbian relationship, one that you look to for example and inspiration, to see it just bite the dust? Mo, I think you're overreacting. Who said they were breaking up? Well, geez, I mean, Clarice slept with Ginger while Tony was at her grandmother's funeral. How sleazoid can you get? Would you leave me if I slept with someone else? Who? Who is it? Whoa, is this the same woman who was recently holding forth on how couplehood should be abolished if we hope to reach our true human potential? Don't quote me out of context, Harriet. Who are you sleeping with? Besides you? Let me see. No one at the moment. Harriet! The interrogation. Clarice has just picked Tony up at the airport. So did you have fun while I was gone? Any wild affairs? What? Swerve? Scree? Relax. Jeez, I was just kidding. Sweetheart. Sorry, so how was it seeing your family? Pretty bad. With my grandmother gone, there was no one to stop them all pestering me about when I'm getting married. The funeral was a circus. Yeah, I can imagine. I'm sorry. Clarice, what's wrong? You have the steering wheel in a death grip. Tony, I went out with Ginger last night. I remember you made a date for coffee, so, I mean, we didn't just have coffee, we had dinner. What are you saying? You mean you're attracted to her? Well, yeah. Did you tell her you were? Is it mutual? Yes. I knew it. I knew she was flirting with you. Tony! So what happened? Did you kiss her goodnight? Yes. Jesus, Clarice, I can't believe you're telling me this. Don't cry, Tony. Oh. And nothing but the truth. I guess I'm sort of in shock, Mo. I don't want to believe Clarice has this crush on Ginger. You used to be involved with Clarice. What do you think is going on? I don't know, Tony. I just don't know. Maybe she's going through some kind of phase. It's not just the crush. I could deal with that. It's that she and Ginger have talked about it and they kissed the other night. Kissed? Uh-oh. And that's in her mind. Later. Lois, I don't think Clarice has even told her. Tony thinks she and Ginger just kissed. I didn't know what to say. Kissed? They did a lot more than kiss, according to the report I got from Ginger next morning. You didn't tell Tony, did you? Of course not. I don't want to get in the middle of this. It's weird. I can't imagine Clarice would wouldn't have told her. I don't know. It's not like she's lying exactly. After all, it is true that they kissed. Yeah, that's it. It's law school, Lois. I knew they'd get her eventually. Half-truths, loopholes, chalk up another victim of the unscrupulous Machiavellian cultures of the legal mentality. Yeah, right. Will you calm down? Whatever it is, someone's got to talk to her. And Lois looks knowingly at our dear heroine Mo, who takes in a big gulp. Gulp. I hope this isn't too hard for all of you. It is a sad little story in our comic, but of course these things happen. Naturally resourceful. I'm too exhausted to even think of cooking. What would we do without takeout food? Well, for one thing, we'd have less of these styrofoam containers cluttering up the environment. Look at this. You can't recycle it. It has half-life of a zillion years. Did you know when they make one of these things, some ozone-destroying chemical is released into the atmosphere? Without ozone to screen ultraviolet radiation, the Earth's temperature is rising. That's why we've been having record heat waves and a drought. This is the beginning of the end, Harriet. Global ecological disaster is upon us. Look at the oceans, full of sewage and hypodermic needles and decomposed rats. The beaches are closed. But is this depraved society stopping? Business as usual? No. We go right on pumping out styrofoam burger boxes without a thought for the balance of nature. Look at us, Harriet. It was a rhetorical question, Mo. What would we do without takeout? I didn't mean to trigger an anxiety attack. An anxiety attack is the only sane response. Mo, no, it's not. We have to transform our anxiety into action. What are you doing? I'm recycling. There, a handsome helmet for deflecting, handsome lightweight helmet for deflecting those harmful UV rays. Now will you stop whining already? The Big Picture, 1988. On a long walk with Clarice, Mo relies on her inborn tact and adroit interpersonal skills to broach a delicate subject. So, Clarice, when do you plan to tell Tony you cheated on her while she was out of town? What? I didn't cheat on her, Mo, and besides, it's none of your fucking business. Well, I wish it wasn't, but this is a small community, and like it or not, other people know what's going on. It's just not fair that Tony doesn't. Oh, Mo, she's so hurt and upset thinking Ginger and I just kissed. I can't tell her we slept together. Listen, Clarice, given the speed news travels in this town, she'll find it out sooner, whether you tell her or not. I know, I have to tell her. Oh, geez, she'll never trust me again. What a mess. You can say that again. That evening, Mo is consoling. So Mo has this conversation with Clarice, and then you see her in this scene with Tony. My life's a mess. Aw, Tony, it's not that bad. I find out that my happy, secure 6-year relationship has been a total sham and it's not that bad. Tony, come on. I know you're in a lot of pain, but you have to look at the grand scheme of things. Listen, the environment is polluted beyond the point of no return. Nickels and dimes are allocated for AIDS research while billions go into the radar systems for blowing up civilians in the Persian Gulf. And we've got to spend the next 2 months being assaulted with hypocritical hype as two morally bankrupt white boys gear up for another electoral farce. Having a rough time in your relationship kind of pales in comparison, huh? Gee, Mo, thanks. I can always count on you. Jazana throws down the gauntlet. Say, Mo, I'm having a coming out party in a couple of weeks, and I'd like you to come. A coming out party? Somehow I never figured you for the debutante type, Jazana. Very funny. You know what I mean. Coming out, as in telling people you're a lesbian. But I already know you're a lesbian. Mo, it's a good thing I hired you for your stunning good looks and not your keen wit of piercing intellect. Haven't you heard about National Coming Out Day? Of course I have. I was just teasing you. Did you really hire me for my looks? No. So the idea is everyone takes the next step in their coming out process. Then at my party, we can celebrate and share our stories. The next step, huh? Gee, I'm out to practically everyone I know. Yeah? How do your parents deal with it? My parents? Don't tell me Miss Political Correctness incarnate isn't out to her own parents. I know. I'm perpetuating my own internalized homophobia, as well as that of my family and society at large. Coming out is the most effective tool we have against the culture's fear, shame, and misconceptions about homosexuality. You certainly have the rap down. Why not tell your folks the good news? Because I'm scared shitless. That's why I'm having a party. We'll be there to support each other after we've told whoever we're gonna tell. Okay. You're right. I'll tell them. Who knows? Maybe they're gay too? Atta girl. Mo phones home. I need to do this alone, Harriet. All right, I'm back. No good. Turn my light up a little bit more here for you. Okay, so Mo phones home. I need to do this alone, Harriet. Okay. I'll be in the shower in case you get disinherited. Here she is, plunking away at the phone. Dad? Monica, darling, I'm glad you called. Your mother is a nervous wreck with all her work for the Dukakis campaign. Maybe you can calm her down. Virginia, it's your daughter. Pick up the extension. Dad, I really don't feel like discussing politics right now. Monica, I'm exhausted. I've been fundraising all week. I hope you're volunteering too. It doesn't take much time to just put up a few posters, you know. Monica, Stuart next door just got his PhD. I really wish you'd think about going back to school. You can't work in a bookstore for the rest of your life. Listen, will you two? Just listen for a second. I have to tell you something. Is something wrong, Monica? No, nothing's wrong. I just want to tell you something important about me. I just thought you should know that I'm a lesbian. A what? Lesbian as in gay. You're good liberals. You know what I'm talking about. But are you sure? Monica, don't be ridiculous. Just because you're a feminist doesn't mean you have to be a lesbian. Have you had a bad experience with some boyfriend? Great, you're doing just fine. They say the first stage parents go through is denial. Next comes guilt. Now you're supposed to say, what did we do wrong? I knew I should have stopped breastfeeding you sooner. Familiar terms. At Jazana's coming out party. So I'm watching TV with my family, and my uncle says, those goddamn queers deserve to get AIDS. Including me, Uncle Carl, I yell. You could have heard a potato chip drop. When I told my mom I was a dyke, she asked if I knew any nice older women I could fix her up with. So, Mo, how'd it go? Oh, well, geez, nothing dramatic, really. I mean, they didn't offer to join me on the next gay pride march, but they didn't send a deprogrammer after me either. I know what you mean. Sometimes I wish my parents would go ahead and threaten me with damnation instead of the way they avoid any discussion of my personal life. Isn't that a drag? I'm out to my parents, and they have no interest in my life at all. They won't even ask me how I'm doing. I guess they're scared I'll say, oh, Mom, Dad, I've been having the best cunnilingus. I don't know, Mo. I think Ed and Virginia will come around. Remember, they were probably in a state of shock. Yeah, sure, eventually they'll tolerate me, accept me even, but big deal, you know? Yeah, when I came out to my parents, they said, we'll always accept you, Harriet. And I said, damn right you will, but I want more than that. Harriet calls her parents by their first names. They used to live in a commune, very groovy. Jerry, Suzanne, I said, I expect you to support and understand my lesbianism, not just accept it like some curse you have to live with. And they do. I bet they've done more for gay rights than I have. All right, I could use some parents like that. Think they'd adopt me? Maybe. But then every year, they'd crash your birthday party, passing around pictures of what a cute baby dyke you were, and playing, filling up, and spilling over again and again on the stereo. No, how embarrassing. I guess you can't win, huh? I love the idea of having coming out parties. That sounds like a very nice thing to have. Or perhaps to throw a party for a woman when she comes out. Or to do something nice. Because it is a true act of... It's a truly brave act. Just dessert. On the rare occasion of their all having nothing better to do, our housemates, Ginger, Lois, and Sparrow, spend an evening together. What a rotten movie. Want to get some dessert? Sure. Okay, but I just want some tea. I'll have a chocolate orgasm and a cup of coffee. I'll have the triple Tasmanian Devil's Food Delight and an espresso. Mint tea and a bran muffin, please. I thought you were off caffeine, Ginger, and I thought you were allergic to chocolate. I don't know why you guys eat this stuff if you know it's bad for you. Don't complain to me about your headaches and insomnia. A short while later, so Ginger, I haven't run into Clarice in our bathroom lately. What's up? We're not seeing each other. Turns out she slightly exaggerated how non-monogamous her scene with Tony is. Ah, Ginger, that's too bad. I'm sorry. In fact, I'm so sorry that I will nobly refrain from saying, I told you so. Yeah, I know. But I don't have any regrets. Like I told you, I just wanted to sleep with her, not get married. Uh-oh, look out. It's Ginger, woman of steel, and she's invulnerable. Come on, admit it. You're hurt. Can I have another teensy taste of your cake? Actually, I'm kind of relieved it didn't work out. I'm sick and tired of romantic melodrama. There are other things to life, after all. Your problem, Ginger, is that you've never worked through your breakup with Phyllis. You should join a therapy group. Are you going to finish that, Lo? Take it. I'm starting to hallucinate. Sparrow, you would recommend a therapy group if I had hemorrhoids. Nope. I'm going to try some good old-fashioned celibacy and finish my thesis. You tell her, Ginger. Come on. We better hurry home before we crash. Yeah, I feel kind of speedy. Do you think they put sugar in the bran muffins here? Tete-a-tete. Mo is hard at work during a Saturday sale at Mad Women Books. And she's singing We Have a Groovy Kind of Love. Hey, Ginger, how you doing? Haven't seen you around in a while. Hi, Mo. Oh, I've been keeping a low profile, throwing myself into my work, that kind of thing. Ginger, I don't want to, invade your privacy, but I just want to say I know about you and Clarice, and I hope it doesn't get in the way of our being friends. Thanks, Mo. These things can be so messy, with people taking sides and not speaking to each other. Too bad. Clarice and I didn't think of that before we hopped in the sack. What's wrong? Oh, nothing. I was just going to say you should check out the 75% off books in the back. In the back of the store. And as you can see, Clarice and Tony have walked into Mad Women Books. Oh no, what's going to happen? Oh no. Clarice, Tony, out shopping together? That's so nice. So domestic and settled. Come here and see my window display. What's with you? In a minute, Mo. I want to see if there's anything good in the 75% off bin first. Oh, there's nothing back there. Just dusty old sci-fi books and boring biographies that nobody wanted in the first place. Junk, that's all. Mo, relax. I can decide for myself. If it's junk. Mo, what is going on? Oh no, Mo is chewing her nails in fear. And she covers her face. Oh shit. Clarice has turned around and sees Tony face to face with Ginger. Hello, Ginger. Hi, Tony. Oh, God. Oh, God. Hi, Clarice. Thanks for the tip, Mo. You got all kinds of surprises back there. I'm going to disappear now, so you can all relax again. Bye-bye. Oh, no. Civic duty. Hey, Mo, come on. It's late. Time to get up. Get up? What for? I'm not getting up until the Electoral College is abolished and George Bush is impeached. But, sweetie, you'll get bed sores. I'm not getting up until Israel and Palestine find a two-state solution and apartheid is completely overthrown. You're just going to lie there? Maybe a hunger strike would attract more media attention. I'm serious, Harriet. I just can't do it anymore. I can't get up one more day and go out into a world where atrocities are being committed every minute with the taxes I'm working to pay. Why should I be a productive member of society that thrives by oppressing everyone else in the world? You know, you're absolutely right. I think you've hit a very symbolic form of protest here. Yes, as a citizen of a privileged country, renounce the power you have to actively dissent and educate. Just stay in bed. That'll show those Republicans a thing or two. What a meaningful way to express your solidarity with the peoples who are sleeping 5 to a mattress in refugee camps and shanty towns and prisons. Can I get you another blanket before I leave? All right. I'm up already. Whatever happened to bribing your lover out of bed with hot blueberry muffins? She gets her little booty smacked. Mo and Lois indulge in a spot of girl talk. So how are you and Harriet doing? Do I hear wedding bells? Wedding bells? Actually, Lois, I'm not sure what we're doing. I mean, we see each other 3 or 4 nights a week. We have great sex. She has a toothbrush at my house. What do you call that? Going steady? A fling? I don't know. Well, are you in love? In love? Geez, Lois, I mean, what is love anyway? Come on, Mo. You've been going out for almost a year. You've never said you love each other? Love is serious stuff, Lois. If I don't know what it means, how can I tell Harriet I love her? I don't know. Doesn't it just slip out? You might say it on the first date, Lois, but to me, it means something. Pardonnez-moi. Your Holiness, please excuse my moral inferiority. Oh, Lois, I'm sorry. I know what you mean. It almost has slipped out a couple of times. I guess I'm scared. I want to tell her at the right moment, you know. Tell her in a sultry whisper while you're licking the crook of her knee. That's always a good moment. No, I don't want to tell her while we're having sex. It's about so much more than that. Fine, tell her when you're changing the kitty litter. What are you afraid of? I mean, what's the worst thing that could happen? The worst? She grabs her toothbrush and runs screaming from the apartment. Or no, even worse than that. She whips out her date book and says, "Wouldn't June be a nice time for our commitment ceremony?" Three little words. It's Sunday morning. It's time. I have to tell her. Today. I love you, Harriet. What's so hard about that? I'll wait till she wakes up. Maybe after she's had some coffee. I'll tell her when she's through with the paper. Gotta do my laundry first, though. Oh, great. Now she's watching football. How romantic. Number 42 has been sidelined with a severe astroturf burn on his butt. Let's check a close-up of his condition, Jack. Well, that's okay. I have to clean out the fridge anyway. Mo, what are you doing? Are you okay? You've been acting so weird all day. I'm okay. There's all this rotten stuff in the fridge, that's all. I'm fine. It's just that I... Now say it to her. Say it to her now. Mo, I love you. What? I mean, no, I love you. I mean, you do? Yeah, I do. Do you really? Yes, I love you really. Phew, that wasn't so bad. Now what do we do? Now you whisk me off to the bedroom and ravish me as New Age music plays softly in the background. Oh, that's what I thought. Hurry up. Lois in action. One afternoon at the bookstore. Thanks for stopping by, Emma, and say hello to Jerome for me. Okay, Jazana, it was nice seeing you, and thanks for your help. Bye. Bye. Jazana, how come you didn't introduce me? Couldn't you see me leering? Girl, don't even think about it. Why not? You're not seeing her, are you? Who is she? An ex? Forget it. She's got a husband and 2 kids. Oh, yeah? Well, she was sure doing some heavy browsing in the lesbian section. What did she buy? None of your business. Give me that. Ah, ha! The coming out stories, surpassing the love of men, lesbian sex. Looks like your friend is doing some research, right? Lois, I'm serious. Stay away. I've known Emma for years now, ever since I was a student of her husband. You've heard me talk about Jerome, my Black Studies professor? Oh, so she's married to Saint Jerome, huh? Yeah, well, now she thinks maybe she's a dyke after all. She's in a very vulnerable state, and the last thing she needs is you coming onto her like a ton of bricks. Okay, I can take a hint. Good. And then she looks at Emma's number. Poetic license. Lois accompanies Ginger to a reading by a renowned lesbian poet at the university. Why am I doing this? I hate poetry. I must be really bored. You're such a Philistine, Lois. A little culture will do you good. Yeah, sure. Sitting around with a bunch of pseudo-intellectuals pretending to understand what some wacko poet is emoting about has always been my idea of a good time. Hey, look, there's Emma, the woman I told you about from the bookstore. She's sitting over there with Jazana. Shh, it's starting. I lick the delicate pearl. She's married to a man, but Jazana says she's been coming out. Isn't she hot? Do you mind? Some of us came to listen. Of your navel, the expanse of your belly, a beach at dawn. Tight-ass academics. Maybe I can make some eye contact. Your desire, a tidal pool. Whoa! She's staring right at me. Careful, Lois. Don't lose your cool. Ripe liquid coral. Oh my God. Was that a wink? Did she really just wink at me? As the waves crest subside, lap at the edge, the lingering scent of seaweed. God. Well, you can't call that poem dry and intellectual. She has a way of really bringing her subject alive, don't you think? I didn't hear a word she said, but my opinion of poetry readings has definitely improved. A very warm reception. Excited by a steamy bout of ocular flirtation during a poetry reading, Lois seeks out her enamorate at the reception afterwards. There she is with Jazana over by the wine and cheese. Come on. Lois, you said Jazana told you to leave this woman alone. I don't think she's going to take kindly to you forcing yourself on them. Leave this to me, Ginger. Jazana, hi. Fancy meeting you here. You know my housemate Ginger, don't you? Oh, hi, Ginger. Hi, Lois. I never thought I'd see you at a poetry reading. Well, Jez, I think it's always important to try new experiences. It keeps life exciting, don't you agree? I don't believe we've met. I'm Lois. Charmed, I'm Emma. Don't you work with Jazana? I've seen you at the bookstore. Oh, why, yes, I do work with Jazana. I'm the merchandising consultant from Mad Women. Merchandising consultant? Lois, you're a clerk. Listen, Emma, I really have to get home and walk my dog. Let's go. Okay, let me just finish this. I'll be right there. So you're a clerk. That must be fascinating. Oh, well, it has its moments. What do you do? I'm a chemical dependency counselor. Oh, I'm not an alcoholic. I just have a glass of wine now and then at, receptions and things. Don't worry. I won't arrest you. That is a lovely earring you're wearing. Emma, I have to drag you away I hate to drag you away like this, but if we don't leave right now. I'll have to face Fifi's revenge. Nice seeing you, Ginger. Good night. I'll see you at work tomorrow. We have some serious consulting to do. The wager. Jazana, the more you tell Lois to stay away from your friend Emma, the more interested she gets. You know how Lois is. Yeah, I do know how Lois is. The average length of her relationships is 3 nights. I just don't want Emma to get hurt. I don't know, Jez. Emma sounds like someone who can take care of herself. Maybe the other thing is I just don't want to get stuck in the middle, you know? I'm too old for this emotional tug-of-war stuff. Oh yeah, I forgot you're friends with Emma's husband, too. After all, I knew Jerome first. When I got to college, I'd never met a black activist before. He politicized me, and it was through his classes that I eventually came out. I just feel a certain loyalty to him. It's not that I don't support Emma exploring her lesbianism, but I'm damned if I'm gonna play matchmaker for her. Uh-oh, don't look now. But things just might be out of your hands. Hi, Jez. We have Emma arriving at the bookstore, and here's Lois with her. Jez, I'm going to take my break now. Emma and I are running next door for coffee. I'll be back in 15 minutes. What can you do? They seem pretty determined. Hell bent is more like it. I guess I just gotta let nature take its course now. Look on the bright side. According to you, statistically, it shouldn't last more than 3 nights. $5 says less than a month. Well, I'm not a gambling kind of gal, as a rule, but $2.50 and you're on. Swept away. Lois takes a quick break from the bookstore. Good coffee, huh? Lois, I think you're a very attractive woman, and I'd like to sleep with you. And she spits out her coffee with a gack. You don't fool around, do you? No, but I'd like to. Geez, Emma, I'd like to sleep with you too. I'm just not used to women being so direct, you know. I mean, there are certain formalities we usually go through. I didn't mean to shock you. It's just that I've spent so much of my life doing things for other people. Now that I know what I really want, I don't want to waste any time. Every moment is precious. Jazana mentioned something about you having a husband and 2 kids. Yes, Jerome and I have just separated. My kids are 12 and 18. James is staying with his father, and Amelia is away at school. She's a lesbian, too. Uh-huh, right. I don't know, Emma. I suddenly feel like I'm in a play. Are you for real? I'm just being honest, Lois. I don't have time for games. So how about Friday night? Fine, okay. 7 o'clock dinner at my new apartment. Here's the address. I hope pizza's okay. I'm not set up to cook yet. 7 o'clock? Sure. See you then. I'll be counting the hours. Bye-bye. And then we have Lois left at the coffee table with a little heart after the fact. That was really nice, Lois. So have I converted you? Well, if I hadn't decided to convert before I even met you, you just might have. Yeah? How can I have Wow, can I have a cigarette? No, smoking is a terrible habit. Listen, you may be older than me, but you're not my mother. You're absolutely right. I don't know what I was thinking. Here. No thanks. Suit yourself. It was really nice for me too. You probably do this all the time. Well, yeah, but not as much as everybody thinks. And this time was different, kinda. Oh, well, listen, I have a big day tomorrow, and I need to get some sleep alone. Oh, sure, of course. Well, I'll be going then. Come here. She gives her a kiss. I'll call you, okay? As the tables turn, and then she said, I'll call you. So, that doesn't sound so bad. I'll call you is the kiss of death. Suddenly, all the women I'd ever said that to flashed before my eyes. Ha! Sounds kind of karmic to me, Lois. What's that supposed to mean? I mean, what goes around comes around. Lover girl. Oh, thanks, Mo. A little moralistic gloating is just what I need right now. Yeah, Mo, have a heart. It's just I've never cared so much if someone called me or not. You know, I feel kind of crazy. Why are you so convinced she's not going to call? I just feel it somehow. After we made love, she was in such a hurry to get rid of me. Maybe she wanted to be alone to process the experience. After all, sleeping with a woman for the first time is kind of a big deal. Yeah, maybe that was it. Maybe she was expecting someone else after you so she could have a basis for comparison. Mo! I couldn't resist. Fix it up. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. As Lois awaits a call from her beloved. If anybody phones while I'm in the shower, come get me. Things develop. Give me a moment. Yeah. Things develop apace in the troubled conjugal life of Clarice and Tony. I sense some hostility, Tony. Hostility? How about murderous wrath? I've been betrayed, lied to, made a fool of. What am I supposed to do? Kiss and make up? Clarice, what does this bring up for you? Huh? What are you feeling right now? Like I wish I was somewhere else? Well, at least she's being honest. That's a major breakthrough. Tony, I support you being in touch with your rage, but let's try and keep our comments constructive. I feel like you're both ganging up on me, so I slept with someone else. It was just a fling. I love you, Tony. It's not just that you slept with Ginger, it's that you didn't tell me. Oh, if I told you, everything would have been hunky-dory, huh? I think maybe this would be a good time for us to clarify your goals here. Why did you decide to come to therapy together? Isn't that what you do when your relationship is falling apart? Can't you just fix us? We're not talking toaster ovens here. I'm afraid it'll be just a tad more complicated than that. The proposal. Tony, one more night on that couch, and the damage to my spine will be permanent. So call a chiropractor in the morning. I miss you. Okay, get in. I miss you too. Aw, Tony, this is so nice. You feel so good. You too. What happened to us, Clarice? Where did we go wrong? Well, let me see. I think everything started to go wrong when you decided we should have a baby. Oh, that's right. Well, as I recall, everything started to go wrong when you were working on the conference morning, noon, and let's not forget night with Ginger. Tony, I was feeling so pressured about making a commitment to you. Sleeping with Ginger was just a way to blow off some steam. I understand, but I can't live like that, Clarice. I know, me neither. In fact, I've been thinking maybe we should, get married. What? Are you serious? Yeah, I've given it a lot of thought. I want us to have a real, tangible commitment, a ceremony and everything. Sleeping on the couch has done permanent damage to your brain. We'll invite all our friends. Should we wear gowns or tuxedos? We could even go on a honeymoon. Hell House. After an exhausting day in the snake pit of Academy, our intrepid PhD candidate, Ginger, returns to the sisterly bosom of her collective household for respite and sustenance. Am I beat? I can't wait to collapse in front of MTV with a hunk of reheated lasagna. Digger, how is my girl? How's my little pup? Yes, hi girl, how's a little puppy wuppy? Oh, oops. And then in the background, an excellent way to recycle their patriarchal scum. Sparrow, what's going on in the living room? Oh, Lois's group is plotting their next action. I think they want to put crude oil in the sprinkler system at Exxon headquarters or something. Taste this. What is it? It's a sort of soup, like I threw some leftovers together. Ugh. Yeah, I guess that lasagna gave it an odd texture. Oh, Sparrow, not the lasagna. Now what am I gonna eat? Plenty of soup. Here, grab a bowl. Where? Every eating vessel we own is in the sink. This place is disgusting. Don't look at me. I just washed a bunch of dishes on Tuesday. And why didn't Lois tell me there was a meeting here one night a week? One night a week to watch TV is all I ask, and the lesbian army descends on my living room. Oh, speaking of telling you things, my friend Milkweed is coming for a visit. Milkweed? What kind of name is Milkweed? Well, when I first met her, she was Phyllis, but now she lives on this lesbian farm and calls herself Milkweed Moongarden. Oh, great. How long's she staying? I forgot to ask. And she's squeezing miso paste into something. Jesus. The visitation. As we look in on our happy household, Sparrow's friend Milkweed has arrived for a stay of indeterminate length. Hi, Milkweed. Damn, no messages on the machine. Have you been here all day? Yeah, someone called Clarice. or someone called earlier. It might have been for you, Emily or Irma or something. Emma? Was it Emma? Please, please, please let it be Emma. Maybe. I wrote it down on a piece of paper somewhere. Oh, right. I couldn't find any matches, so I lit it at the stove to burn some incense. You know, it might have been for Ginger anyway. And as you can see, Lois is quite upset about this. Hi, everyone. Hi, Ginger. You may or may not have had a phone call today, but we don't know who from. Titillating, isn't it? Huh? Wait a sec. I really have to pee. Click, click, click. What's going on? There's no light bulb in the bathroom. Oh, I got rid of all your General Electric light bulbs. You really should boycott products of the military-industrial complex, you know. Later, after Sparrow gets home, look, you just have to be patient with Milkweed. She's used to living on a lesbian farm. We shouldn't have bought those bulbs. I really admire her for trying to live outside the system, and I think we can learn a lot from her. Oh, well, at the moment, she appears to be glued to our General Electric TV set. Shall we follow her example? She's just bringing herself up to date on recent developments in patriarchal popular culture. They don't have TV at the farm. Nice try, Sparrow. If she wasn't watching Petticoat Junction rerun, I'd almost buy it. You are what you eat. Our friend Milkweed is lurking in the kitchen when Lois has Mo over for dinner. Milkweed, you're welcome to join us if you want. Thanks. What are you having? Tuna fish, hijiki arugula casserole. It's my own recipe. Tuna fish? At least it's albacore. I hope. Do you know how many dolphins are slaughtered annually by the tuna fishing industries? Oh, yeah, I heard something about that. Well, I wouldn't have it anyway. I don't eat flesh. There's leftover quiche in the fridge. No thanks, I don't do dairy. Bread? Or wheat. Don't worry about me. I'll just have some of this rice. It is organic, isn't it? No, it was grown with toxic pesticides in a hazardous waste dump by oppressed migrant laborers. Lois, relax. Milkweed's just concerned about what she eats and what the global impact of her personal decisions will be. Thank you, Mo. It's refreshing to run into someone in this town with a grain of social responsibility. A grain? A grain? Well, excuse me. I didn't know you were counting. Oh boy. You just meant it's hard being so much more evolved than everyone else, right? Well, maybe Lois isn't as PC as you, but she did offer you dinner. In my book, Milkweed, rudeness is not a socially responsible trait. Sheesh. Do you both have PMS or what? I think I'll just have some peanut butter in the kitchen. Sermon on the couch. As the true nature of our house guest Milkweed unfolds, the patience of her hostesses is wearing thin. This morning, Sparrow and Ginger have already left for work, and the phone is on its third ring. Why isn't Milkweed getting that? Damn, the machine's not on either. What if it's Emma? Don't hang up. Click. Milkweed, why didn't you answer the fucking phone? Shh, I'm meditating. That afternoon, a house meeting is called. It's not just the telephone, Sparrow. Yesterday she spilled her artichoke papaya smoothie, oh, God, all over chapter 2 of my thesis while she was borrowing my typewriter. And she leaves her ring in the tub. She has to go. You guys, I know Milkweed has sort of a rough exterior, but her heart is in the right place. I can't just kick her out. Give her one more chance, okay? Minutes later. Going out? Yeah, I have therapy tonight. You know, Sparrow, I've been meaning to talk to you about that. Oh? Yeah, I think that like a lot of women in the community, you've become dependent on therapy. Oh, you do you? It's self-indulgent, Sparrow. Look at you, slaving away for the patriarchy 40 hours a week to support this ridiculously expensive habit. You've grown complacent. Where's that radical spirit I used to know? She's making a temporary comeback. Get out. Huh? I want you out of my house by the time I get back from my self-indulgently expensive habit, you pompous, preachy hypocrite of a couch potato. I need to turn on my lamp here. Get a little more light. As it's been moving across the sky. Public display of affection. Mo and Harriet are picking up a few provisions at the local supermarket. Shop and drop. Mega food. We're open incessantly. Special on antibiotic-fed beef and irradiated produce. Save on pesticides, additives, and preservatives. Let's just go in, get the stuff, and get out. What else would we do? I don't come here to browse. I'm sorry, this place just freaks me out. It's the lighting or the subliminal messaging on the music urging us to eat more meat byproducts. Just keep breathing and you'll be okay. Should we get some fruit? Fresh figs. Know what these remind me of? Harriet. What? We're in the grocery store, for goddess sakes. Could you, disengage your hand from my shoulder? Sure. How's that? Harriet, I'm not kidding. Geez, Mo, what are you so paranoid about? I'm just not in the mood to get queer bashed right now, okay? Yeah, that lady with the zucchini looks like a pretty rough number. I bet she comes down to the produce section and beats up Dykes all the time. You know what I mean, Harriet. It's the stares, the remarks, the verbal harassment. Mo, you're the one who's always preaching about how we all need to come out. What better place to start than right here in the belly of the beast? I don't know. Why should we censor ourselves? There's nothing shameful about our relationship. You're letting fear dictate your behavior. So she looks around and then kisses Harriet. Excuse me, dears, you're blocking the aisle. At the salon. So how's your love life, Casanova? Rotten. God. Ugh. That is one thing I am missing right now. I would really like to go to the barber and just get my hair cut, and I can't. Little things. Rotten, I seem to be losing my touch. No lurid tales of seduction for me this time? Not unless you want to hear about my breathless nights spent passionately waiting for the phone to ring. Lo, this doesn't sound like you. Is it the woman you were drooling over last time? Older? Married? Yeah, we had one date, pizza and sex on her fold-out couch. How was it? Well, I could have done without the anchovies, but she ordered before I got there. Anchovies on your first date? Kinky. Don't you think if she doesn't want to see me, she could at least have the decency to say so? Or say it to my face? Do you think I should call her? So, like, okay, and then they look over, and then this, male hairdresser is speaking to his client. So, like, he keeps calling me. I don't know what to do. What would you do? Tell the pathetic jerk to get lost. Believe me, how can you can't mince words when you're trying to dump someone. On second thought, calling her might not be the wisest option. But what can I do? I can't stand this suspense. Why don't you send her a telepathic message that you want to see her? Yeah, sure. Miko, your next appointment is here. Hi, Emma. Have a seat. I'll be with you in a minute. Lois, don't jump like that when I'm trimming your ears. So, Emma's getting her hair cut too. Oh, and there's a little troll doll at Miko's station. How lovely. The option. After a surprise encounter at the hair salon, Lois has arranged to meet Emma following her appointment. Cafe Topaz, hell yeah. Look at that Amazon with her coffee pot. So how about that Supreme Court? Yeah, really bad news. Yeah. Listen, I'm sorry I never called. Oh, that's okay. It's not like I was raiding around or anything. It's just that I've kind of gotten involved with a good friend of mine. Oh. I've been in love with her for over a year. She's why I finally left Jerome, but I didn't know how to approach her, how to go about it. Oh, I get it. You practiced on me first. Lois, no. Yeah, then after sleeping with me, you went and seduced your friend, and now you're both madly in love. Swell. Glad I could help. Am I invited to the wedding? Lois, it's not like that. Yes, I feel a primary bond with Dorothy, but I'd like to see you now and then too. Well, isn't that progressive? Out for 2 months and already non-monogamous. Well, are you interested or not? Lois has her arms folded. The spats. Let me get this straight. Emma says she's involved in a primary relationship with someone named Dorothy. Right. But she'd like to see you on the side. Well, I prefer to say more casually. Lois, if I like someone so much I want to be involved with her, then I want to be involved with her. For goddess sakes. None of this secondary relationship bullshit. I said casual, not secondary. How can you exchange intimate bodily fluids with someone and call it casual? Listen, just because you and Harriet instantly merged identities doesn't mean that's the only way to do things. What do you mean? Harriet and I have perfectly healthy boundaries. Yeah, sure. You You can't even go to a movie with me unless you check with Harriet first. And they have a customer come up. Excuse me, but nothing. Your time's not your own. And I've noticed the pronoun we creeping into your vocabulary an awful lot lately. Ahem. So what? Maybe I like checking with Harriet. Maybe I like saying we. Maybe you'd like a lobotomy too. Okay, Lois. Let Emma jerk you around. I'm tired of trying to help you. Maybe you could help me then. Help like yours can get on cable TV. All you do is preach. Listen, I'd like to buy this book if it's not too much trouble. All right. Keep your shirt on. Geez, did someone get up on the wrong side of the bed today? And her book is The Dance of Anger. I like the blazer with the scarf look that she has. It's quite fetching. Could be a turtleneck too, I'm not quite sure. But very, very good. Breaking point. Mo's having a crisis. Harriet, thank God you're here. Mo, what's wrong? Did something happen? I don't know. At first I thought I was just premenstrual. Then I thought maybe it was a food allergy, like from the glazed donut I ate Monday. But now I think it must be my Saturn return. What are you babbling about? My life, Harriet. What am I doing with my life? All the years of being socially responsible, struggling for peace and justice, worrying myself sick about the world, where has it gotten me? The bad guys are winning, Harriet, and I'm tired. I'm tired of recycling all my bottles and newspapers. Why can't I just throw them out like everyone else? I want real furniture and a new car. I want a washer and dryer. Do you hear me? I don't ever want to go to the laundromat again. I want a 27-inch color TV set with remote control, Harriet. Hun, put the TV down. I just want to be normal. I just want to lead a nice middle-class life of denial and obliviousness. Harriet, I want to go on Olivia Cruz I want to go on an Olivia Records cruise to the Caribbean. Goddess, how long do these Saturn returns last anyway? Drug culture. Mo's not feeling quite herself lately. This is from 1989. Hi, Mo. Come on in. We're watching our fearless leader just say no. Hi, gang. Uh-oh. Remember the last time you watched a presidential address? Mo, you really blew a gasket. I'll be okay. I promise I won't throw anything this time. Shh, listen. Beef up law enforcement. Build more prisons. Space. Right on. That's what I've been saying all along. What this neighborhood needs is a good jail. And to combat the drug lords where they live, I promise sending $2 billion in military aid to Colombia, Peru, and Bolivia. Oh, that fucker. Yeah, and take the money for it from federal housing programs. That'll teach those poor, underprivileged drug addicts a thing or two, right, Mel? Do you guys have anything to drink? I could go for a carbonated beverage containing caffeine and NutraSweet. What? Mo, are you okay? Block by block, child by child. Mo, aren't you going to say anything about Bush is manipulating people with patriotic platitudes? Or how he should do something about poverty and racism here instead of blowing up South American countries? Some highly processed, heavily salted snack food would also hit the spot. Weird. She feels a little feverish. Mo, aren't you gonna point out the irony of a guy who once ran the CIA, that bastion of covert drugs for arms deals, preaching against crack? Hey, this guy is boring. Let's watch MTV. Invasion of the Body Snatchers or Saturn Return. Stay tuned. Exclusive Engagement, 1989. How about early spring or June? June would be romantic. Or we could wait for our 8th anniversary and do it then. Will you stop? We haven't decided yet whether we're doing it at all. Well, I've decided. I don't know what your problem is. Clarice, excuse me if I seem hesitant. 1 minute you're having an affair and lying to me. The next, you want us to dress up in white satin and swear everlasting monogamy in front of everyone we know. Will you let go of the thing with Ginger? It was nothing. Doesn't the fact I've been in therapy with you for 6 months count for anything? All right, I'm sorry. But why the sudden urge to get married? A ceremony won't make us more committed than we already are. It's a ritual, Tony. It means public recognition of our relationship. It just has so many negative connotations. Marriage is about property transferal and creating state-approved nuclear families. Why mimic it? We won't even get a state-approved tax break. Tony, for us it'll be about love. No, for you it's about fear. You think a commitment ceremony is some kind of ticket to eternal security. Look, I just want to marry you. And since she shouts it, everyone in the laundromat turns and looks at them. It's a very brilliant scene. There, you got your public recognition. Satisfied? It's not just about security, Tony. Think of the presents. Presents? Well, why didn't you say so? A serious party. This is from 1989. It's Jazana's annual coming out party, and the gang's all here. Well, Mo, you came out to your parents last year. What's your next step gonna be? Jazz, I'm sick and tired of coming out. Life's hard enough without having to tell the plumber you're a lesbian. Why knock ourselves out? Because every time you don't come out, you let someone go on thinking they don't know any gay people. It makes us invisible. But it's nobody's business who I sleep with. It's a personal matter. Pretty to think so. But in this culture, you're presumed to be sleeping with the opposite sex until proven otherwise. Don't waste your breath, Jez. She's going through some weird reactionary phase. Frankly, I'm worried. She just let her Greenpeace membership lapse and subscribed to Ms. instead. Think of it, Tony. What better way to come out to our families than by announcing our commitment ceremony? Yeah, that's what we thought. But my father refused to witness a crime against nature. At least my folks sent us a gift. 2 sets of twin-sized sheets. Emma. Lois, I was hoping you'd be here. I'm still waiting for your answer. Well, I've decided that yes, I would like to go out with you casually. No strings attached. Oh, good. I'd like you to meet my primary partner, Dorothy. Hun, this is Lois. Oh, really? She's a bit younger than I expected. How nice to see you all getting acquainted. Lois, could you help me in the kitchen for a minute? I owe you one. It was just good hostess technique. Believe me, if this wasn't my party, I'd have grabbed a front row seat. The decision. Mo has grown concerned about the strange dullness of her once astute political sensibilities. Okay, go ahead. I'm ready. This is a good one. It says here Oliver North might run for Congress. Does that give you chills or what? Try something else. How about this? Exxon says Prince William Sound is all cleaned up, and they've stopped work because it's getting cold out. Nope, I still don't feel anything. Okay, this one will get you. The space probe Galileo, just launched by NASA, is loaded with enough plutonium to kill everyone on the planet. The danger of contamination from the project won't end till 1992, after the probe whizzes back past Earth at a height of 185 miles and a speed of 30,000 miles per hour. Darn, I had a twinge of mild concern for a second there, but I just lost it. What's wrong with me? I'm scared. You're scared. Next thing I know, you'll be voting Republican. I mean, I love you, Mo, but I have to draw the line somewhere. Okay, this is time for serious action. I'm gonna do it. What, order a pizza? No, Harriet. I'm going to call a therapist. Oh. In her mind, she thinks, finally. Finally. Well, that's great, sweetie. I really support your decision. Geez, there's a lot of names here. How will I ever find the right one? And what if they're homophobic? Why don't you ask one of your friends for some names? Maybe this isn't such a good idea. After all, I think I was overreacting. In fact, I feel better already. Senator Oliver North. I'll call Sparrow tomorrow. Ugh, Senator Oliver North. The referral. Here you go. So what did you want to talk to me about? Well, I wanted to ask your advice actually about, yes. Well, it's kind of personal, Sparrow. Is it about sex? Are you and Harriet having problems? No, well, not exactly. Don't tell me. You're attracted to someone else and don't know how to break it to Harriet. No. Harriet's seen someone else and you're devastated. Nuh-uh. Keep going. Mo, spill it. I have therapy session in half an hour. Yes, that's it. What? Harriet is having an affair with my therapist? No, I decided to go into therapy and I thought you could recommend some people. Is that all? Sure, I can give you some names to call, or you can look in the 10% Tribune. A lot of lesbian therapists advertise in here. Hi, Mo, Sparrow. Will you lay off trying to convert everyone into therapy, head? She's not converting me, Lois. I asked her. Not you two. Say it ain't so, Mo. Ugh, my inner child is feeling very hurt. I think this is stimulating my abandonment issues. Or am I just being codependent? Let's process after I ask my shrink. Textbook case of denial. Just ignore her. The quest. A comparison shopper by nature, our heroine has booked appointments with 3 different therapists this afternoon. What mode of discipline did your parents employ with you as a child? Geez, I hate forms. Mo? Hi. Here, I'll take those. I've been feeling kinda weird lately. I see here you don't have any insurance. Do you realize a 50-minute session costs $85? She walks out angry. Sliding fee, of course. I hope you don't mind snakes. I bought her years ago to treat a phobic client. Sit down, sit down. Anywhere in particular? Wherever the spirit moves you. Now, what divine universal forces bring you here today? Well, I guess I've had kind of a personality change. What I'm hearing is your mother wasn't really there for you as a baby. Do you feel like punching a pillow? I just remembered I'm allergic to reptiles. Sheesh. I seem to have lost my moral indignation and righteous anger about all the cruelty and injustice in the world. And this is a problem. It sounds positive to me. So often women waste energy on politics instead of directing it toward their own inner growth and personal transformation. Yeah, right. That was almost as bad as the first time I shopped for a bra. Maybe Lois is right. The session. Daunted after 3 unsuccessful ventures, Mo determines to try one last therapist. Great, this one's late. If she's not here in 1 more minute, I'm bagging the whole deal. Ah, you must be Mo. Sorry I'm late. I was downtown at a demonstration. And this therapist's sign says, your taxes pay for torture, rape, and murder in El Salvador. Unfortunately, we decided to block traffic at the very intersection where I'd parked my car. Haha, come in, come in. You were at an El Salvador demo? I didn't think therapists did stuff like that. Ah, what kind of stuff do you think we do? I don't know, play bridge, have potlucks, go to seminars on codependency, that sort of thing. Well, sometimes I do those things too. Oh, you seem upset. Of course I'm upset. That's why I'm here. Oh well, why don't you talk more about that? Sniff. I'm not crying. You're not gonna make me punch any pillows or talk to a chair, are you? My dear, you don't have to do anything. You can just sit there if you like. Could I have the Kleenex back, please? I seem to be having some kind of weird allergy attack. The recovery. A guy slaughters 14 women with a hunting rifle because he hates feminists. I can't believe it. Yeah, now just watch everyone sit back and pretend it was an isolated incident, that it says nothing about how woman-hating our culture is. The paper hardly covered it at all. It's a conspiracy of silence. Can you imagine if it was a feminist blowing away a dozen men? We'd never hear the end of it. Maybe it's just because it happened in Canada. If aliens invaded Quebec, the US press would give it 2 inches in the environment section, or in the entertainment section. That's no excuse. Oh, it happened 40 miles over the border, so it's not our problem. When is humanity going to realize everything is our problem? Hey, glad to see you're feeling better, Mo. Amazing, isn't it? See, therapy really works. Geez, Sparrow, I've only had 1 session. I'd probably be feeling better by now, even if I hadn't started therapy. Yes, but would George Bush have invaded Panama if you hadn't started therapy? Ask yourself that, Mo. Leave her alone, Lois. What's that weird toxic smell? Are you referring to my personalized seduction scent? 1 part patchouli, 1 part Chanel No. 5, and 1 part Old Spice. Sweeps women off their feet. Lois, you can't go out in public like that. What about all the people with environmental allergies? You're a walking health hazard. I'm so glad the old Mo is back. Unfortunately, I can't stay and chat. Emma just got back from Mexico with Dorothy, and she's making dinner for me. How come Emma gets 2 lovers, and I don't have any? I don't know, Ginger. I guess you're just too well-adjusted. Ah, Lois, what are you doing? Take it back, or I'll smother you with Old Spice fumes. The message. Emma, those fish sticks were delicious. I'm sorry. After cooking for my family all those years, I just don't have much energy to put into it anymore. Hey, I meant it. I loved them. My happiest childhood memories are eating fish sticks in front of the Flintstones. You're sweet. You smell sweet, too. What is that? Oh, a little of this, a little of that. Emma, it's so nice to be alone with you again. You too. Ring, ring, ring. Hi, this is Emma. I can't come to the phone right now, but if you leave a message, I'll call you back. Beep. Hi, babe, it's me. I was just thinking of you and felt like hearing your voice. Guess I'll have to settle for the recording, but even that gives me a thrill. I also wanted to coordinate plans with you for the weekend. Remember I told you Vicky invited us to brunch on Sunday? Do you want to get that? No, she'll hang up in a second. Relax. Let's not go. I'll tell her we're busy. I'd much rather stay in bed with you. I miss you. And then Lois is thinking, relax. I miss the mole on the inside of your left thigh. Here's a kiss for it. Smack. Hope you're having fun. Love you. Bye. Click. Emma. What? Is something wrong? Well, if it doesn't bother you, then I guess it doesn't bother me. Please don't stop massaging my navel. An unusual plight. Clarice and Tony are just returning from their support group for lesbians in multicultural relationships. Sheesh. If that's support, I don't think I ever want to see antagonism. Oh, come on. Everyone was very supportive, except Tanya, of course. Do you think she's right? Are we just making a pathetic bid for approval from a racist, imperialist, misogynistic, heterosexist system that wants to destroy everything we stand for? Clarice, Tanya said the exact same thing about you going to law school and me being a CPA. It never bothered you before. Well, yeah, but okay, what is going on? You've been pestering me for months about having a commitment ceremony. I finally agree, and now you're having second thoughts. I just want to make sure you really want to go through with it. Yes, I do. And after all this, you'd better want to go through with it too. Okay. As long as you're certain it's the right thing. Here. Clarice, you didn't. Shriek. I'll be your lawyer if you'll be my accountant. Resistance. How did you feel when your mother said you were too old to be kissed goodnight? Look, this is absurd. I can't believe I'm paying good money to sit here and complain about my middle-class Dr. Spock childhood while homeless people are starving in the streets. It's immoral. Immoral? Why? Why? Look out the window, Anya. War, rape, drug abuse, racism. With all the pain in the world, it's selfish for me to sit here whining about how my mother wouldn't kiss me goodnight when I was 6. Ah, well, let me try to follow your logic. If only you weren't in therapy, all the pain in the world would cease to exist. Is that it? No, that's not it at all. Well, then what harm could it do the world for you to continue in therapy? After all, it might ease your pain. That's the theory, at any rate. My pain? But I wasn't abused. My parents didn't beat me or spend my lunch money on their drug habits. I had a happy childhood. Well, let's go back to your mother not kissing you goodnight. Geez, will you forget that? I'm sorry I mentioned it. I'd still like to know how it made you feel. I don't know. Why do you keep asking me that? How am I supposed to know how I felt? Well, how are you feeling right now? Isn't our time up yet? Goodness, so it is. Well, we can talk more about this next week. Will the same time be all right? I suppose so. Will Mo's world-weary shoulders find balm in the bosom of the psychotherapeutic process? Will Lois and Emma successfully negotiate the treacherous waters of non-exclusivity? Will Clarice and Tony soon be comparison shopping for a turkey baster? And what about Naomi? Don't touch that remote control. Well, what a nice bunch of stories. I think sometimes when I look at the trajectory of Dykes to watch out for, I think it's interesting how it documented a lot of what was happening in the lesbian community at the time. And I think consequently, as it's gone on, it's kind of represented much of the demise of the lesbian community and some of the things that helped to break apart a lot of the structures that women put in place so that this kind of community could exist in the first place. So it's always interesting to visit and to see their takes about like the political terrain at the time. I know that Lesbian Connection is currently running old stories, old like strips from the comic currently. Specifically, I think the last one that I read had the whole process of like Clarice and Tony having a baby, or Tony giving birth in it. So I have a mixed kind of relationship with the comic. I love it, and I also like have been disappointed in a lot of things that have been in it as well, but I also think that there are things that lesbians have kind of contended with over the years as society has changed and as lesbian culture has shifted and the lesbian community has kind of eroded. So, anyway, thank you for being here watching. I appreciate all of you very much. All right. Yeah. I suddenly clicked out of here and I'm back. Okay, but I am going, so thanks again. I will probably be back with another book of some kind in the near future. But until then, goodbye.